Hey, what's up? It's me, Adam, and welcome to day number 3 of the Build a Lifestyle Business Challenge. Today I'm here in Lombok and we are going to talk about the #1 marketing tool that you should be using. Because it's so easy to get confused with all the different marketing tools and marketing strategies, and there is so much contradicting advice out there, and it becomes a mess really soon. So in this video, I would like to provide you with a method that enables you to focus on what is important for you right now. So in day number 1, we talked about 3 rules that we should always follow when we are deciding on our first online business idea. And rule number 1 was actually that we should be able to find businesses that we can model ourselves after. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is basically putting this rule into practice. I'm going to show you a method to find and model businesses. If you're just starting out, there's a good chance that you feel overwhelmed right now, because what beginners do is they're usually trying to make up for their lack of experience, and they consume massive amounts of information. So they find hundreds and hundreds of solutions, and it's really hard to decide which one you should take, because usually they contradict each other. You have to realize that it is really hard to give general advice because all the markets are different, and if something works in a certain market, it doesn't necessarily work in another market. It is really hard to decide on which path you should take, and this is why you have to be able to find what works for you, what works in your market, and in order to do that, you have to do some market research, more specifically, a method called funnel hacking. Funnel hacking is a term coined by a famous marketer called Russell Brunson, and it's all about understanding that every market is different. So if something works, like a strategy or a tactic in a certain market, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would work in your market. So we have to understand how people are making their buying decisions. And understanding this market from scratch, it could take years. We obviously don't want to wait that much time. So by finding working solutions, we can find out how to structure our web pages, how to get traffic, what is the best way to get traffic, and what are the best offers. Basically, what is the most efficient and effective way to get customers. And this could seriously shorten the time needed to become successful in an online business. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you the funnel hacking process the way I do it. And it's a little bit different than what others are doing, but showing this in practice, I think this is the most help I can offer you right now. It's going to make your life so much easier. Okay, so what we're about to do is taking a look at this whole funnel hacking process in action. And this way you're going to have a first-hand experience, and you are going to have concrete examples, and obviously this is going to make it so much easier for you to get started with this method. So let's jump right into it. First of all, we would like to talk about exactly what questions do we want to answer, because we don't just want to look at websites and just browse the internet, because that's really entertaining, but I really wouldn't call that progress. So that's why I've collected a few examples of questions that we would like to find answers to using the funnel hacking method. The first of them is, how should your website look? And you might not think that this is a big problem for you. You might not consider this to be a problem, but trust me, as soon as you get started, it is going to be a big creative challenge. So as soon as you get started, you are going to have to make a lot of small and big decisions about the page structure, the design solutions that you use, what follows what, like what are the elements are going to be on your site, like are you going to put a text here or are you going to put an image there? So it is going to be overwhelming. It is going to be a big creative challenge, because obviously you want to provide a good user experience for your visitors, and at the same time you want to convince them to buy, and there are going to be all these different questions, and yeah, it is really hard unless you make a proper market research. That's why I recommend people to just take a piece of paper and draw a draft of the page they are looking at, and write these small notes about what is happening here, what is happening there, if you should use it on your own site. And this way you're going to understand it really fast, how this certain brand or business presents their ideas, their positioning, their offers, and it is going to be really helpful when you start to build your own first website. The second question troubles a lot of people. I get this question actually quite a lot. Which offers should you promote when you are just starting out? And as I've said, this is completely understandable that many people are afraid to get started with the wrong kind of product. I don't recommend you to put larger amounts of money into stock when you're starting out. you should absolutely test at first. So just test the products, and that's why you should absolutely take a look at competitors' featured products and best-selling products, because that's going to give you a really good idea about what is selling in your market currently. The featured products are usually the ones that have the highest profit margins or have the highest conversion rates. So this is true if you are selling physical products, if you sell marketing services, and if you're a consultant. You should absolutely research the best offers in your niche, in your market, because that is going to make the initial customer acquisition so much easier. It is going to make it very easy to get your first customers, which is going to enable you to have a lot of confidence and just progress at a fast rate. And it is going to be so motivating. So don't try to figure out the best offers on your own, just carefully research the market. The third one is obviously not the most important one, but I just wanted to show you that you can use this funnel hacking method in a lot of different fields. What color codes should you use on your site? And I have even mentioned a Google Chrome extension in the parentheses, the ColorPick Eyedropper, which enables you to check the color code of any web element. So if you like the color of anything on the web, you can just use this to check the color code, and you can use it on your own site right away. So as soon as you start to build your site, you are going to see that you could spend hours just testing and trying to match these different color codes. You can't just tell that the button is going to be blue and the background is going to be green, because those probably won't match. But your competitors have spent a lot of money on these web designers who have spent a lot of time figuring out what goes well, which color codes fit each other. Okay, so you can just use their results on your own site, and it takes just a few minutes actually to collect a few great color codes. Moving on, our second question is how to find websites for funnel hacking. And this is going to be really important because many times you won't be able to use Google, because on Google you're only going to find the biggest brands, the big sites that were established like 20 years ago or decades ago, and those are not going to be good models for us. So we want to find these small niche brands that were started like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because we can model their success. So in this video, I'm going to show you the funnel hacking for a yoga web shop. We are going to try to find small niche yoga brands that were started a maximum of 5 years ago, okay? Because those are going to be great models for us. And I'm going to show you 3 sites that you can use to actually find them. The first of them is Instagram, and many people forget about this, but Instagram is a great platform to find different brands. So we are going to find them on Instagram, and we are going to click on this little arrow, which will pop up a lot of recommended other Instagram profiles. These are very, very small brands, and these are social media focused brands. But this way you are going to find a lot of these indie web shops, and you can use them to start your own, okay? The second one is Amazon, and a lot of people forget about this, but there are a lot of great finds on Amazon if you sell physical products and if you're a consultant also, because on Amazon there are all these books that are listed, and you are going to be able to search your own market, and you're going to find all these categories and sub niches. So you are going to find a lot of different positionings. You're going to understand the problems that people want answers to, or the problems that they want to solve. And this is very important information for us. The third one is Experito.com, which is like a jolly joker if you want to build a web shop, because basically what it does, it lists out all the web shops that were built with Shopify and makes them searchable, and actually you can rank them based on the traffic they get. So you can find a lot of small web shops that use paid advertising to get traffic, and you can just understand how they get their traffic, what are the products they are selling. So what we are going to do next is to actually do the funnel hacking. And as you can see, I've already opened Experito.com, and you can see all the web shops that are listed here. So what we can do is basically list out all the Shopify web shops that have yoga in their store address. So in just a few minutes, we have a lot of successful yoga web shops that we can use as examples, and we are going to focus on the second and the third one. The first one is not good for us because that sells yoga trainings, and we would like to sell yoga equipment. So I have already opened this, but let me just say really fast what we are going to do. We would like to try to fill up this so-called swipe file, which is a super simple thing. At least I like to keep it very simple. This is just a Google spreadsheet, and this was originally used by copywriters to find great pieces of advertising, and they just saved it in their Swipe file, and when they were out of ideas, they just used it to basically enhance their creativity. And we are going to do the same thing to collect our different ideas about how to do online marketing, how to build our websites. So I only use 4 columns. The first one is the name of the site, the link, the takeaways, and a few comments. As I've said, I really like to keep it simple, and I recommend you to do the same. So let's get started and check this Upkeep Yoga, which again was the second on our list. And I was really surprised when I first saw this, because this doesn't seem to be an established brand or doesn't seem to be a professional site at all. So I was wondering why this ranks so high. And then I realized that all of these products are actually from AliExpress. So you can buy all of them from AliExpress. This is basically a dropshipping site. And this is good for us because we can actually use exactly the same products to sell in our web shop. So we have a product portfolio of these items. We know that these are the featured products. We know that we can source all of these, and we have an idea about what we should put in our website. So this definitely goes into our Swipe file. And the takeaway is that AliExpress products, and we can get started with these. The second one is this page called Yoga Rebel. This was the third on the list. And just looking at this, we can see that this is not a one brand site. So this is not a brand site, but this is a site that collects different independent small brands. So we don't want to copy or model what happens here, because this is a much more complicated site than what we would like to do. But this way we have found like 23 or 24 different independent brands, and we should check all of them. On this site I have found this small brand called Dharma Bums. It's not that small, but it's not a huge brand, and it's an Australian brand. I think they only focus on the Australian market, and this is a really good site. So you should absolutely look at it and try to use it as a model on your own web shop, because there are so many different client getting and marketing solutions that are great for small brands. And yeah, I think this brand is only a few years old, so it actually fits all the criteria that we are looking for. And the page structure is great, the product categories are great, the collections and stuff like that, these are awesome. So this is the perfect example for a yoga web shop that we would like to build. I don't do yoga, I've never spent any time trying to understand it, but just looking at this site, I see what is hot on the market right now, and I see a lot of products that could be sold really easily on the internet. Or for example, there is this barre thing, which is like what ballet dancers use, like this these little knots on the bottom of the leggings. This should be pretty interesting for a lot of girls, I think. And yeah, you can see the product categories. You know right away what should be your first products on your web shop. So this is a small brand that was started by just one person and grew itself out, which is exactly what we want to do. Okay, you should absolutely find all the brands that are like this in your own market or in your own niche, and try to do the same, try to model exactly these kinds of businesses. So what we are going to do now is put this page into our Swipe file, and let's see a few takeaways. Okay, so again, we want to use these websites to find a lot of great solutions and use it on our own page. Now, if you see, there are these marketing solutions, like for example, this discount pop-up. This is the thing that they use to build their email list, which is a list of potential customers. If you check their Instagram profile, you're going to see that they are running Instagram promotions. So in a really short time, you are going to understand how this brand gets customers. And yeah, it is really important for us. So this is the whole goal of the funnel hacking process. Now, you're going to see all the different collections, like for example, there are these this Barre collection, Active collection, Mesh collection. As you can see, they focus on the leggings. So I guess this should be the most profitable part of their business, and this is a really important takeaway. So leggings, focus on leggings, because this is exactly what we should do. So by understanding how this business gets customers, we can use the same ideas and actually put them in our own web shop.